Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. James 4:7. Hello and welcome to my channel. It's your girl Curry SJ, and I'm coming to you today with a new tutorial. Before we get started, pause this video and go subscribe and hit the bell button so that you're notified whenever I post. And now let's get into this tutorial. Going in with my eyebrow pencil, I'm outlining the shape of my natural brow and then I'm filling it in. You want to be sure at the beginning of your brow you fill it in a little lighter, so that when you blend it out, it looks natural. I usually only blend out the beginning just because I don't want you to be able to see that line that we drew. You want it to look as natural as possible. I'm then going to take a concealer that's about 2 shades lighter than me, and I'm going to apply it directly under the eyebrow. You want to make sure you get as close as possible to the eyebrow so that it looks super sharp. We're then going to blend out that concealer with this fluffy Real Techniques brush, and again you want to be sure you're getting as close to the eyebrow as possible because you do not want to be able to see this concealer. And I'm just going to take that same concealer and apply it to my eyelids as the base for our eyeshadow. But before we apply the eyeshadow, I'm going to apply a little bit of powder to set that concealer in place. That way it won't move, and then we'll go right in with the eyeshadow. Now we are doing a glossy lid, so for this look we only need one color, so I just decided to go with this pink, and I'm literally just going to apply that all over the eyelid. And because we're only doing the one color, we only have to thoroughly blend out the edges so that you don't have any harsh lines. And I'm just taking a flat top brush so that I can really get my entire eyelid. I do have hooded eyes, so my eyelid space is very small. The type of brush you use definitely depends on your eye shape. For example, if you have more of an eyelid space, you can just use this one fluffy brush for the entire eye. And I'm just taking a brush with no products on it, and I'm just going over the outer part of the eyeshadow just to calm that pink down a little bit. And as you can see, it kind of flows more effortlessly. I went ahead and did the other eye off camera, and I also applied some lashes, and now we're on to the face. And I'm just going in with some color corrector and pretty much just correcting the darker parts of my face. This step is optional, so only do it as needed. And then I'm going to take a fluffy brush and blend this out first, and then we're going to go in with our foundation. We're going to blend out that foundation with a Real Techniques foundation brush, and you want to be sure that you're patting this into your skin instead of dragging it. I find that it gives you more of a skin-like finish when you pat it versus rubbing it. You want to blend this until it looks like skin and less like foundation. Like as you can see right here, it looks cakey and it still looks like foundation. So I just literally just keep going over my entire face until it looks like skin. And you want to be sure you're taking that product into your hair so that everything is one color. If you are doing your makeup with like a scarf on, I recommend just pushing it back a little bit so that you can get that product into your hairline, because it will be a difference in color if you don't take it up to that hairline. Going in with our concealer, you want to take a shade that's about 3 shades lighter than your complexion, and we're just applying this underneath our eyes, our chin, our cupid's bow, our nose, and our forehead. And then I'm going to go in with the liquid contour, and then we're going to blend all this out. I like to apply my contour in these little dots, just because when I did the line, it was like way too harsh. Like I was blending and blending for hours, it felt like, and it still was just too harsh for me. So please don't underestimate the little dots. Even though it just looks like a little bit of product, it definitely goes a long way. And please remember, with all our products, we pat them into the skin. We don't rub it. Patting it into the skin just allows it to sink more into the skin so that it looks like skin, versus if you rub it, that's just going to take away the product and it's not going to be as flawless. Sorry for not mentioning this earlier, but placement is key with makeup, because you want to blend it exactly where you placed it. You don't want to go out of the context. You want to blend the product exactly where you lay it down. And please take your time with this. It is not a rush. Most of the time being spent obviously is the blending. I feel like that's the most crucial part, because that's going to determine how flawless your makeup looks. So really just make sure you got enough time when doing this routine so that you can really take your time and really blend this out. And for those that have seen my other tutorials, you've already heard this before, but for my newbies, if your hand does not feel like it's about to fall off, you are not blending right. Sorry. Now for the contour, I am dragging it a little bit just because we have to move the product. So I'm just lightly dragging it into the spot that I want it to be. And yes, I am taking that contour up into my hairline as well. Me personally, that's just the reason why I like my hair to be done first before makeup. Some people do it the other way, you know, to each his own, but this is just how I like to do it. So we apply all of our products as liquids first, and then we're going to set them with the powder. So here we're just applying some liquid blush, and then I'm going to take this fluffy brush and I'm going to blend this out. Contour and the blush are the only two products where I kind of dragged it, only because those two products we had to move them, because we applied them as a dot, so we have to move it. That's the only reason why we're rubbing, okay? I went back in and I applied another dot of the blush just because it didn't pop as much as I wanted it to. Like here, that's perfect. So ideally we did 3 dots instead of the 2. And here we're just applying the highlight concealer. You want to be sure this is about 4 to 5 shades lighter than your complexion. And we're just applying this below the eye, and we're going to blend this out. You want to try your best to blend this right below your eye. I took mine a little too far over and it kind of covered the blush. You'll see in a second that I'm going to fix that, but just be sure you're blending this right below the eye. this is just what I meant. I took the concealer too far over and I wound up blending it over top of the blush. Luckily, it was an easy fix. I just took that brush that we used for the blush and I just used the product that was still on there just to kind of bring that blush back. But just keep that in mind that you only want to blend that concealer right underneath your eye. Taking a pressed powder that's the same shade as that highlighted concealer, and we're just applying this exactly where we place that concealer. Going in with another pressed powder that's the same shade as that first concealer that we put down, and we're going to apply this everywhere we place that concealer. And we're going to continue to set all those liquids with the powder. So we're now using the powder contour, and then we're going to go in with the powder blush. Since I just started doing my technique like this, I do feel like it's a lot better going in with all the liquids and then the powder. It just makes the products more enhanced. I was doing just the powders at first, and don't get me wrong, it still was beat, but I don't know, something about this technique is like it's beat, like it's flawless. And I do want to point out that your liquid blush doesn't have to be the exact same color as the powder blush. My liquid blush was a little bit darker than the powder blush, but as you can see, it came together perfectly. So I don't want you to stress out about having to have identical blush colors. You can make it work as long as the colors are close together. Just to enhance our contour, I'm just going to apply some powder underneath that contour on our cheeks as well as the contour on our nose. It just helps sharpen the contour. And also, I don't contour my nose just because I feel like the way I place my concealer, my nose contours itself. That's why I'm just going in with this powder to enhance it a little bit, but I don't actually contour, so do what works for you. I just skip that part. I just took some hydrating mist just to set everything, and while I'm letting that dry, I'm going in with that same eyeshadow color on my lower lash line, and I'm going to apply a little bit of mascara. And I'm just cleaning up my brows a bit. Sometimes I lose some product in the process. And then we're going to dust away that setting powder. And here I'm just going in with that setting powder, and I'm just canceling out any oil spots that I see, just so that everything is matte and everything is flawless. And when you think it doesn't get any better, it does. Going in with the highlights, my favorite parts, and we're just highlighting our cheeks, our nose, underneath our eyebrows, and our tear duct. For my tear duct, the highlight I use is a little bit lighter. It's not the same one that I use on the cheek, just because I find that a lighter highlight in the tear duct, it just makes my eyes pop more. Like, it just, ooh, look at that. Beauty marks usually gets lost in all the products, so I just like to go in with a gel liner to add them back. But of course, if you don't have natural beauty marks, you can still go ahead and add some fake ones, okay? I did not have anything for my lips to match this pink, so I took the eyeshadow. Yes, you heard right. I took the eyeshadow and mixed it in with some lip gloss, and voila. And for the gloss lid, you literally just apply lip gloss to your eyelid. Now you don't want to add too much just because it will move throughout the day, but just apply a very, very small coat over their entire eyelid, and that's it. And this is the finishing look. You guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next tutorial. Bye.